YouTube, we had an epic stream today. Twitch.tv/Duel Links Meta every week. We have a Meta Weekly. Meta Weekly 122 weeks in a row. We raised over $4,800 for charity. That is absolutely insane. Make sure you click join on YouTube to hop in and join these events. They are uncapped, happen every week. It is the largest, most active Duel Links Discord for a help, events, and discussion. You could join right here. Click on it. Your invite is waiting. Hop in. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at him. Let's go. Sure, with my card.
Now the voice line's on. Background sound. Love it. Let's go. You say versus you say. Possibly using level augmentation, which allows you to perform crazy synchros otherwise not possible, by revealing a monster in your hand to boost up a level on the field by that monster's level. Exactly what you're seeing right now, Squire summoning a tuner from the deck, revealing a level 4, boosting up the field by 4 levels. That becomes a level 8 plus a level 2 to make a turn 1 level 10 synchro, Sun Saga. Now, Sun Saga is indestructible. It cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects per Shiranui you have in the grave. So double destruction, it's protected. Squire for Squire. You summon a Squire, I will do so myself. Squire activates, summon a tuner from the deck unless Turbo Man disrupts it, potentially. Now, with this being a side deck tournament, you can expect both players to potentially side deck into No Mortal Can Resist, which would turn the grave into Skull Servants. Fiendish Chain, lock up the Squire, negate. Back in the day, hands down, going second was always the best way. But now, by going first, you could set really good disruption. And we got Forbidden Lance to negate that disruption. Squire is now unaffected by Fiendish Chain. I don't think so. You level augment, and I will do it also. Boosts up the field by +4, also revealing a Gazuki, both players completely mirroring each other's plays. Synchro summon into Sun Saga. Sun Saga has another effect besides being indestructible, and that effect is to destroy any amount of cards on the field per monster you put back into the extra deck, but there's no cards that are banished or in the grave to return to the extra deck if you summon it on your first turn. Back row set, let's go. Now, both players only have 3 minutes to make their plays. At the start of your turn, you do gain 20 seconds. Spectral Sword in the grave, banish a non-tuner to summon a level 6 synchro, which will also trigger the Squire to draw a card and discard a card. At this moment, with no cards in the grave, the Sun Saga is no longer indestructible. As soon as he discards a Squire, as he did, he is now indestructible again. How do you play Sun Saga versus Sun Saga? I say this over and over. Whoa! Cosmic Cyclone, pay 1,000 life, take out that back row card. Is he going to chain it? Floodgate Trap Hole, could have used it onto the Samurai Saga, chose to not do so. That's a level 8 synchro coming. And what I was about to say before I was rudely interrupted by that Cosmic Cyclone is, I say over and over, if you want to be a top tier player, you have to learn how to play the mirror match with your favorite deck or a top deck, because the mirror match is played differently than any other deck, no matter what deck you are playing. For example, what do you do Sun Saga versus Sun Saga? It's great that Turbo Man can make a level 8 that's going to become bigger than the Sun Saga, but he's still indestructible. Whoa, Lancia. Lancia is going to be activated before the synchro. A very smart play from Bob Esponja. Why? By doing so, that's going to make it so Turbo Man is not, I guess it's going to happen right now. Now I could say it. It's not coaching. All right, chill. The level 8 synchro on summon as a cost would banish a monster to gain its attack. And because it's a cost, you can't Lancia on its summon. You cannot do it on its summon. You would have to do it before the summon. So very good play with Bob Esponja discarding Lancia so neither players can banish. But Lancia also turned off his own Sun Saga.
Here I go.
Attack! Suiciding both Sun Sagas, going in for 3,000 damage. Now, can Bob Esponja clap back with a Spectral Sword in the grave? He has no Solitaire in the grave, so he can only make, at best, a level 6. But with Gazooky, he can make the plays. Bob Esponja, no hesitation whatsoever, going all in. Does Turbo Man have a Lancia of his own? He desperately needs it. If he does not have Lancia, it might be over. Spectral Sword activating. It's going to banish itself and the Solitaire to summon a level 6. Solitaire is going to summon that tuner back onto the field. No Lancia. This is it.
I activate my monster's effect.
Activate Solitaire, put that tuner back onto the field.
Special summon a monster. I'm counting on
Get summoning. He denied his opponent the buff boost with his Shogun Saga. But his own Shogun Saga will gain that buff boost. How big will Shogun Saga become? Banishing the Samurai Saga. Samurai Saga going to reduce the opposing Shogun Saga by 500. Let's battle. Attack!
my monster attacks.
Lethal! Bob Esponja wins it.
Your cards.
Just game 1. If you're from YouTube, you missed out on the "you fool" in the background. I got to mute those sounds for YouTube. Oh my Jesus. Good job, Bob Esponja.
It's my I know.
Now, look at that. Game 2, Turbo Man side decked his skill out for a Shizu. A Shizu with no mortal can resist. You need to be 1,000 life less than your opponent to turn the opponent's graveyard into Skull Servants.
What shall I play? I summon a monster in
Itsuka NA and everyone else subbing and donating. I'll get to you after the grand finals. We have Squire activating to summon a tuner from the deck. Now, if Gazooky sent to the grave, it could banish the tuner to summon a zombie from the hand. You would not do so. That would be crazy. But otherwise, with Gazooky in the grave, you could banish it to Synchro just like Turbo Man is doing right now. Ideally, you want your Gazooky to stay alive. And it is extremely strange that Bob Esponja has no back row cards to protect that Gazooky. Maybe a Sphere Karibo. That would make sense. No Sphere Karibo. And Turbo Man has no choice but to take out that Gazooky. Cannot afford to leave it up on the field. It's strange to have no back row, but it also makes sense. Your opponent's playing a Shizu. And if your opponent's playing a Shizu and you set back row, it is susceptible to Cosmic Cyclone. So I would not be surprised whatsoever if he actually had back row. The strange thing would be that he didn't draw it. The smart play would be to not set it. Don't set it. Very good. And this makes it so he could use his Spectral Sword without it being turned into a Skull Servant. Big brain. But it don't matter. Lancia is going to negate the Spectral Sword. No Synchro.
I need your help.
I'm very interested to know if these are actual back row cards. You should really pay attention to the hand.
Need your help.
Focus in on the hand.
Monster.
Spectral Sword, come forth. Now, he might set his back row now because a Cosmic Cyclone would not make it so he's lower life enough to activate No Mortal Can Resist. Samurai Saga is here.
I'm not scared.
Oh, at least one back row.
Here I go. I attack with my monster.
Double Suicide. Boom. Now, Turbo Man, that back row card could potentially be a Cosmic Cyclone. Was not used at all on the Samurai Saga. Shizu so far not able to make use of the skill, but just being afraid of the skill made it so Bob is afraid to set back row. Turbo Man attempting a Synchro using the grave. Lancia, double Lancia, both players playing Lancia to negate the effects of banishing for the entire turn. Very good. This is the card of the meta. This is the card. It stops pretty much every top tier deck. You want to play Lancia.
My monster's effect.
Spectral Sword activating. There is a delay. That delay could be the Lancia. Yes, it is. Lancia number 2. Negate. So Turbo Man had 2 Lancia. Bob has had so far 1. Does Bob have a second Lancia? 2 for 2 Lancia. It's going back and forth. Lancia has replaced Sealed Tombs, essentially. All right, attempt number 3, or I should say attempt number 4 on activating a Spectral Sword. So far, Spectral Sword has been negated 3 times. Lancia. No, you don't got Lancia. That would be absurd. 4 Lancias. 4 negates. Negates. Double negate from both players. Both players desperately trying to control the Spectral Sword in the grave from banishing. This is absolutely insane. I mean, they could be playing 3 each. They could be, the card is that good. Flipping up Spectral Sword. Are you going on to the offense with this? Potentially. Get poking. That's quite a lot of life to poke down. 3,200. It's going to take you a while. But it might be worth it. Because if Baba Sponja rips into another Lancia, he's going to keep it in his hand as he pokes him down every single turn for 800. All right. 3 more turns and he wins. 3 Lancias. What do you think? We are in a Lancia meta. Transmigration Prophecy. You don't need Lancia when you can return their Spectral Swords back in the deck. Shuffle 2 cards in either player's graveyard back into the deck. Targeting double Spectral Sword back into the deck. Oh my Jesus. That is insane. Sets a card. Maybe he has a Transmigration Prophecy of his own? Let's see if he could successfully activate a Spectral Sword without being disrupted. He's attempting it. Let's go. Banish the Samurai Saga. This will make a level 8 Synchro. This is Turbo Man's game to win.
I special summon a monster.
Shogun Saga. Now, Shogun Saga, it is optional, could banish the Squire. And he chose not to. He chose to not banish the Squire to draw a card, then discard a card. Floodgate get flipping.
Face down on the field. It's my battle phase. And now
Hey, that single Spectral Sword could win the entire duel. 2 more attacks in Spectral Sword without even synchroing is going to win this duel.
I knew you'd be a tough one to beat. My turn. I draw.
Let's go, let's go. Spectral Sword beatdown. The best way to play Spectral Sword, just attack. Yusei is not giving up, but is ending his turn. Probably drew Lancia. What card would you possibly draw that you wouldn't summon or set? It has to be a 3rd Lancia. If he plays it, I don't have access to their deck list. I haven't looked at it. Kazuki, Floodgate get flipping. And officially Turbo Man is locked up. The field is clogged. There is nothing he could do besides he could tribute with the Lancia. He could use a Ballista Squad if he plays it. But if he's out of Lancias and doesn't play Ballista Squad, that's it. This single Spectral Sword has to win the duel. 1 more attack and Turbo Man wins it with the Spectral Sword. Spectral Sword beatdown. Drool. Ripped into a monster. He had to have at this point. And thanks to Turbo Man returning the Spectral Swords, Fiendish Chain, negate. As I was saying, thanks to Turbo Man returning the tuners back in the deck, only that is the reason why he could activate Squire, otherwise he would not be able to. The negate goes through, no lance, no protection, nothing. Sets the card. What could that be? What could that be? Turbo Man's locked up. That's it. Turbo Man could deck out in 10 turns if he does not have a way to break his own field. Cosmic Cyclone. Get banishing. His own Cosmic Cyclone, which he couldn't even activate because his life points are too low. He drew a card and set He's swinging. He's swinging. With Squire in attack position, he could just suicide the Spectral Sword in, then Synchro Shokan next turn. This is not good. Baba Sponja could not lock up or stop that Spectral Sword from swinging in. Could this be a third and oh, he did draw into a Ballista Squad. That is incredible. Get poppin', tribute one of his floodgated monsters, taking out a second Cosmic Cyclone. Double dead Cosmic Cyclone. He's not even playing No Mortal Can Resist himself. Activating Spectral Sword, the effect that's been attempting to summon a monster the entire time of this duel and has been negated 4 times. Sun Saga returning 1 extra deck monster back into the extra deck to pop that Squire. Open field, giddy up. Lethal. Turbo Man takes game 2.
Excellent dueling.
Excellent dueling.
But I have foreseen
Excellent.
we shall duel again.
Yup, Bob is at the top, Turbo Man at the bottom. Let's swap them up. No Mortal Can Resist versus Level Augmentation. Now, if Baba Sponja could use his skill on the first turn, that is going to be great use of it, and possibly counter the... He did not. Did not even use Level Augmentation. This is not already looking good for Baba Sponja. But, I mean, this is a great opener. Just because he didn't use his skill does not mean that this is a bad opener. This is ideal without the skill. And especially with tons of back row, he apparently doesn't care about Cosmic Cyclone, turning his grave into Skull Servants. We watching. We learning. Summoning before activating any cards. That means he did not open up Cosmic Cyclone. Both players not opening up ideally. Ballista Squad's gonna tribute the fat 2500 attack monster to destroy the Solitaire. Why would you put that much effort to destroy a 500 attack monster? Well, that 500 attack monster would have special summoned a tuner from the deck, and that tuner leads into big plays like 6,000 damage. Cosmic Cyclone randomly taking out a Floodgate Trap Hole, and now it's time for potential Lancia plays. Lancia versus Lancia? We'll see. When he attempts to activate the Spectral Sword, he's going to banish itself and another monster to summon a big Synchro, but Lancia could negate.
I activate my monster's effect.
He's attempting it, activating Spectral Sword to summon a level 8 Synchro that would become 5,500 attack. Lancia negating 5,500 damage.
I know what to do. I summon a monster. I activate my monster's
Squire
effect.
activates. Summon another tuner from the deck. He's turning up the heat, but by using a Samurai Saga previously, he might not even be able to synchro with the tuner he summons.
Okay.
Most Shiranui decks, they play other level 6 synchros that can only be used with the Spectral Sword in the grave. Usually playing only one Samurai Saga. I think so, from my memory. We'll see if he chooses to synchro or not. He might not even be able to. You know what?
Take this.
Flame on!
Monster attacks you directly.
You will regret that.
I end my turn.
My turn. I draw.
Focus. This is the grand finals. Game
What shall
3.
I play? I summon a monster in attack position. My monster's
We got
attack
Squire.
activates.
Pull that tuner from your deck. If he were to lose 500 more life points, he could turn the entire opposing graveyard into Skull Servants.
I set a card on the field.
Setting. It looks like I was right. He does not play another Samurai Saga on his extra deck, not able to synchro. We have Turbo Man going to use his first Samurai Saga summon.
Let us battle.
We do want to focus on this Spectral Sword that's going to be activating. We did see a Transmigration Prophecy in Game 2 to return it back into the deck. Taking out that Squire further away from turning the grave into Skull Servants, as you need to be 1,000 less than your opponent.
It's my turn. I draw.
If you had a Transmigration Prophecy, don't you believe that he would have potentially destroyed the Spectral Sword, then shuffled it back into the deck?
My monster's effect.
Activating Spectral Sword. Looks like it is resolving.
Know what to do. I special summon
Level
a
8
monster.
Shogun Saga.
I activate
On
my
summon, banish a
monster's
monster
effect.
from the grave to gain its attack and trigger its effect. Samurai Saga is going to reduce Samurai Saga by 500 as the Shogun
Just as
Saga
I
becomes
expected.
4,500
Here's
and then
my face
permanently
down
gets
card.
flipped face down by a floodgate
activates.
trap hole. Get flipping. Now the Squire will draw a card
I
and discard a
activate my
card.
monster's effect.
Now, it's worth noting, he has not normal summoned yet, but if he doesn't play another Samurai Saga, he can't even synchro with the Spectral Sword. So what do? We also know that a Spectral Sword is going to be activating next turn. And with a Solitaire, that is going to be a lot of damage. Up to 5,500 damage, I should say. Tribute summons a Lancia over the Shogun Saga. What is he thinking? Now, Shogun Saga as a monster does the same thing in the hand. Synchro Shokan with the Lancia.
I synchro
What
summon a
the?
monster.
He gave up the negate of Lancia to synchro into Squire Saga. Unbelievable. Now, Squire Saga could banish a monster from the grave to destroy a back row and possibly
Just
destroy a
as I
monster too.
expected.
Fiendish Chain, lock up the Squire Saga. No banishing, no
I'm not
effect.
giving up. I end my turn.
Ends his
My
turn.
I draw.
Is this it for Baba Sponja? Will Turbo Man get his first place victory of a Meta Weekly?
I summon a monster in attack position.
Ripped a Squire. I could not believe
What
it.
shall I
Believe it.
I special summon a monster.
There's still hope.
Lancia's being activated preemptively before he summons a Shogun Saga. Oh my Jesus. The dueling gods are giving Turbo Man everything he needs to win it. He had Sphere, Kuribo, and Lancia. He went for that Squire Saga play to just be stopped by a single Fiendish Chain.
Watch and learn. I synchro summon a monster.
Synchro Shokan. Shogun Saga.
It's my battle phase. Here I go. My monster
Attack.
attacks.
It's good. Final attack.
Won't give up.
My monster attacks you directly.
Squire for lethal. Turbo Man is your champion.
Excellent dueling.
Yes.
Destiny is served.
Turbo Man did it. Meta Weekly champion. The underdog prevails. Starting off with first and second place, we're going to start with Baba Sponja in the top two. Baba Sponja playing level augmentation, triple Lancia. Wow, triple Gazuki, one Solitaire. And then your first place winner, Turbo Man. It's also worth noting, wait, he didn't sign it? Yeah, he didn't have No Mortal Can Resist, did he? That was Turbo Man, that was Turbo Man. Turbo Man first place with this decklist, a decklist not as blurry. Level augmentation, only one Gazuki, triple Solitaire. This is the full deck type breakdown. Okay. Then the top 32 deck type breakdown. Okay. Now, let's look at them in a random order. Very good. No Mortal Can Resist. I've been for fun playing Bring It on the ladder with Ritual Beast. That's right. Ritual Beast and fun in the same sentence. And it's been quite fun. Shiranui, okay, standard with Void Trap Hole. You have so many options for back row. If you're missing a Ballista Squad or a Fiendish Chain, it's replaceable. Baggy Sleeves, no Vadras, no Sphere Kribo. Very interesting. Kristrons, still great. All right, Heroes. This is a good version of Dark Magician, main decking a Necker Valley, Void Trap Holes, okay. Shiranui LA, okay. Baggy Sleeves, looks very similar to a deck we looked at earlier, but this one has Sphere Kribo, more protection. More Heroes, Grid Heroes, crazy deck, no Malicious, what the? More Heroes, okay, form change adds more aggression, I like it. Transcendent Crystals, Crystons. Beautiful. What Lude the Lollies. Oh, this is probably Zeko. Who would say that? What grows on the graveyard with the Lancia main decked? Transcendent Crystals, Crystron. Okay. I'm sorry whether you think this skill should be nerfed or not, but I do think it will. Level Duplication, giving you access to the Squire Saga by revealing a Lancia to make a monster level 5. Very good. Also, when you make the Samurai Saga, it's level 6. So when you special the tuner back on the field, make the tuner level 4. That's a Sun Saga play. Good job. Good job. More heroes. Okay, form change. Transcendent Crystals. We got more Ritual Beast. So many Ritual Beast. Main decking Mind Drain. That's when you could tell that you really do not like Thunder Dragon players. Level Og. Triple Lance in the main deck. Oh yeah. This is the second place deck, I believe. We're looking at decks in random order now. All right, very good. Standard. I'm only going to really talk about non-standard stuff. Okay. Dark Magician, Void Trap Pull with the Curtain. Thunder Dragons, top 32. Looks quite standard to me. Hey, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror in the main deck. Why not? Just do it. Do it. Lots of Dark Magician. Wow. Wow. Okay. Very nice. Wait, what is this in the background? What the? Invoke DD? Wait, what is that card? What? What are you playing? When a monster on the field activates its effect, you can make the activating player toss a coin and call it. If they call it right, send this card to the graveyard. If they call it wrong, negate their activation. If you do, change control that monster to their opponent. So they activate a monster, you negate it, and then you take control of their monster permanently. Yosenju, a pointer, still seeing use after being fixed. Good job, and that is the full top 32.